dollars. Okay, we're ready to start, right?
Yes.
I'll call the meeting to order. Thank all of you for being here and making our time. We'll start out with discussion and action of approval of our minutes from last month. Had an opportunity to take a couple of minutes to look over them.
Hey, sir, how you doing? Welcome.
Need a motion to approve last
I make a
month.
motion that we approve the meeting, minutes from the last meeting.
Need a second. Have you had a minute? Have you? No, okay.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
No further discussion. Public comment. We don't have any public comment.
No, sir.
Okay, we'll go into library reports. We'll start out with adult services.
Thank you for being here. My name is Jose.
Do you mind?
No, not at all.
Can I act as a public?
Yes. Public
Sure,
comment.
why not?
Public comment. I just came from a first time that this library has sent somebody, and this time it was me, to the Public Library Association conference. We normally go to the Texas Library Association, which involves public, university, and school. Or we go to the ALA, or vertical to ALA with the same concept. But I went to the PLA and quite frankly, I learned a lot, but I also learned a lot from Brownsville. I represented Brownsville, and we are ahead of the curve. And so I want to report to the board that we are doing something good. Some libraries are struggling, not only financially, but they're struggling with ideas. They're struggling, they're still stuck in the history. And so I just want to share that we are a great team, we're a great library, but there's still more to come. And I learned, and I'm going to share with the team, and hopefully the board and the public will see what I'm talking about. But we're not the best in the nation. There's things to grow, but we're definitely we're very close to that. So. And it was only focused on only public libraries, which is that's what we are. So we made a purpose to go to public library, and it goes every 2 years. So next year, 2 years from now, Brenda will be going, and then the following year, 2 years, somebody else will be going, so we can see. And the conferences are not to have fun only, but also to learn and to improve, because that's what it's all about. So sorry for the but I focus as a patron.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
Juan did mention ideas, and this is one idea that we actually presented not too long ago, a few months ago. We have those light posts, so how can we actually decorate them to make them look good, to appeal to our clientele, to our patrons? Every time they swing by or pass by in the city bus or their vehicles, etc., Uber driving, what can we do to appeal the attention? So for months we've been working on trying to add some banners to those light posts, and finally it went through. So we have some of these banners that we came up with, and as you can see, we have about 8 on Manzano Street and 2 here at Southmost. So we do have the library hours, makerspace, we have study rooms, the MiFi, Wi-Fi, books and magazines. So anything else to appeal to our patrons. So they withstood all this weather that we've been getting, the crazy weather, winds, etc. Patrons have commented to me that it brings out light into the library. There's something that appeals to them, which is really neat. And of course, this was a team effort to bring these to light. And while I'm here, I also want to thank City Traffic Manager, Mr. Lucio Gutierrez, and Assistant Public Works Director and Rancho Viejo Mayor, Ms. Maribel Guerrero, because both of them helped me and their team to install these. So it was beautiful. It was a team effort, one city, and I'm so glad that it went through. And thanks to them, thanks to us, this came to life for our city. So if we have a chance to walk around, go over the vehicles, check them out, let us know anything in the future about us that, we're good to go. These are some of the programs we've had in the last month. Computer classes, the tax information class. We had adult slime day, which was really fun. Seeing adults playing around with slime was always a great thing. The Golden Egg Challenge, we did have that program for Easter. throughout the month. Patrons were able to grab an egg, open up an egg, and go out there and look for a book that they actually came out in the little egg, and they will win a prize. So anything to bring back the appeal of actually owning the book and reading. So we have a great turnout for the classes. We're already getting ready for May the 7th to start our new class session. So we will be having a meeting pretty soon to see what our itinerary will be for the coming next month. The computer classes for the next 2 months. So we've been doing really good. There's some picture of the slime day on the left, the golden egg game program that we had, the tax info class on the top right corner, and of course, can't forget our little libraries. They've been so great, successful. So, the one on the very left, that's a new one we found for Brownsville Museum. And in the middle one, that's the one we found by Seville Street. Unity Church has one there. And the one over here is one of our best popular ones, which is McNair Park by St. Charles. And so far, I went there more than 289 books, more than 10 little libraries that I delivered. And before we started this, I had a great talk with them too, and they've been so nice and hopefully adding a new library, little library over Leda in your area.
By Hudson Elementary.
Elementary, so that let's keep growing and growing. Thanks
And
to
we'll talk to our landlord about putting one there in the shop.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, are you the one stocking all the little libraries?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one's the Seville one? Sorry.
Oh.
It's, the middle one is the one by Seville Gardens.
Yes.
Is that the Seville Street?
Yeah, but it's as you turn towards Hudson. There's another one in Seville Park, which is on Seville towards Parkview behind Walmart.
Okay.
There is one in there as well. And then we're adding, because I'm part of the PID, which does the whole paseo. We're gonna add another one over by the dog park that's on Draper.
And are they like, were they empty when you went out there? Like,
Yes.
They get low real quick.
Yes, especially that one, the McNair Park. That one, every time I go, that's the one I find graffiti that said, "I love the library, thank you." Yeah, exactly.
Could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse, exactly. So I really like going to that one because I know that one, I have to at least 1.5 boxes easy.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Well, it's wonderful. If they're being taken and they're being used, that's wonderful.
it's a great way. And this is the program we're gonna have this coming month. In honor of National Library Week, we're having a book-based challenge. Choose your best book, put your face on it with the face experience on the book. We win a prize. We have the first time homeowners buyer program too. We have reached out to other organizations, finance organizations, to see if they can come over. So we're just waiting for their response. Movies, macaroni salad. We'll be doing macaroni salad for a cooking class. So we're getting ready for that. So we have a lot of stuff coming up as well. So we're very happy. Gardening for adults. So if they push flowers, we make flowers. So we are going to be working on gardening for adults.
That'll be April 22nd.
Correct.
Okay.
There we go. April 22nd, we have both branches, so we'll be learning how to make a garden.
Same night, both branches.
Correct.
Both places.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Correct. So, yes, that's what's going on.
So cooking is, when are you doing the cooking class?
That one is what we do is that we purchase all the food items, right? And then we invite our patrons to come over and then we present them how to actually we do the cooking, and every single one of them actually gets some hands-on experience. And then at the end, they get to eat their meal. While actually promoting the library, putting books there, cooking, so they can check them out, and promoting other departments as well.
Oh, that's good point.
Oh, that's gonna be April
That's-
20, where is it?
16.
16.
15.
15.
Both, or just?
No, I both.
Both
Yeah.
branches.
Both at the
Next
same time at 6 o'clock.
Tell us a little bit about the Adult Services Committee.
Yeah, so the Adult Service Committee is when we invite our community to come over and see if they can give us some more ideas for programming. We've had a okay turnout. We've had not a great turnout, but we've had an okay turnout. And we've gotten some pretty good responses. We do hand out a survey. People that don't attend, we do it at least for a few days. We hand it out to patrons throughout the day. So they can give us some feedback as to what exactly they're interested in. So far, the one that they've actually requested a lot are the computer classes. So far.
Yeah, and the whole idea, and we had a task force before COVID to help us see what the public wants. That even though we're librarians and we do get, continue educating ourselves. We don't pretend, to know it all. And sometimes we need to hear, we need to have what's called a growth mindset.
That's great, yeah.
So we need to hear from them what they want, and I'm gonna say it in Spanish, and I'm sorry, that's not how I am, but when you go to quinceañeras and dances, the musicians have a plan in place of what songs they play, but if people are not dancing, well, what the whole point? So you need to adapt to what the people want, and so this is a concept, I don't really get that, so even though we have very awesome librarians, we still have to serve our community, and even the main branch and the Southwest Community Branch, they're two different communities, and we cannot avoid that. None of them is better than the other, but they're different.
Yeah, you gotta meet the needs of your clientele. Youth services.
Hello everyone, my name is Kayla and I'll be presenting on youth services. So this past month we had our Easter extravaganza event, which actually went really well despite the torrential downpour that was happening, especially at the Southmost branch. So the whole idea was to have our egg hunt outside, but of course that was just not going to be possible. So our staff really pulled together that day, and we, that day created some last minute games to kind of make up for the fact that we weren't going to have the egg hunt. We still gave the kids the eggs, but we just handed them their cartons and said, please don't break them inside. They did anyway, but that's okay. But because they were going to miss out on the egg hunt experience, staff came together. We had some old boards that we used during our Christmas event, and they just on the fly came up with different games so that the kids could still have something to do and play while they were here. So despite the rain, we still had 380 people in attendance, and everyone got their bag, they got their craft and their picture with the Easter Bunny, and they got to play games as well. And then same situation at Maine. It was just raining that day. It was not fit to go outside. So we took those same games. Luckily we were prepared. So we set up a movie in the main meeting room. We had the games going on, and we had 630 people in attendance there at Maine, despite the rain as well. So
we serviced over 1,000 people.
mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it was a really great
numbers.
event. Yeah. Thank you. Next slide.
And it was exciting, imagine if it was.
I know,
Yeah.
if the weather had been better,
Yeah.
but we're happy with what we got, despite,
And our staff pivoted.
what happened.
Good job.
For our regular kids night, we did a puppy paint activity. This was a little Easter geared as well. We mixed up some puppy paint, put them in piping bags, and let the kids just have fun. At the main bench, we had 104 kids attend, and then at Southmost, we had 51 people attend. So it was also good. For April, we are going to have our regular programs, such as Toddler Play Day, Legend Day, and our Stories and Snacks. For our movie night this month, we showed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which actually had a pretty good attendance at both branches. And then for our kids' nights, we are going to do a DIY bird's nest. So that's this little guy right here. We're going to give them all the supplies. It gets a little messy, that's why I have it in this plastic bag, but they will get to just make it on their own. And then we are going to try something a little bit different for our library for our next kids' night. Instead of just doing like a craft or some kind of paper activity, we're actually going to do a library Olympics. So this is going to be a little bit small to see how it goes and how we can manage it with the amount of people that come. But there's going to be 4 library themed challenges. The first one will be relatively simple. They just need to walk in a straight line while balancing a book on top of their head. Once they get to the end, they'll reach a cart that'll have some books that they need to then put in order based on the call number. When they finish that, they'll get a little catalog card, which will have, if you go to our online catalog, it tells them where they can find the book. So it's basically a replica of that image. They're going to use that to then go find the book, bring it to the front desk, and then they're going to do a scavenger hunt. At the end of the scavenger hunt, they'll get a gold medal, and they'll get a little bag that has a little pin in it with some snacks and a bookmark. And so that'll be the Library Olympics.
Is that a new event? That's a new event?
Yes, yeah. It's a new thing that we're trying. Usually for kids' nights, we do a lot of like art activities or like STEM activities. So we kind of wanted to make something where the kids, something a little bit different, where they're not just coming and sitting down and doing a craft, something where they could move around, interact with staff and stuff like that.
Well, I think it's a good idea. Some kids love little competitions.
Yeah, so everyone will get their prize. And that's actually my last slide. So any questions?
Great ideas. and good attendance and the others that you have.
Yeah,
Thank
and if I may add, all this is just different programming that staff is not afraid to try something new. And all that, we still do the normal day-to-day operation. You know, we still have people come in, check out books, we rent out meeting rooms, notary services, all that stuff, and we still manage to do all that. This is just the extra, but we still have the foundation of the library. And I just have to remind the board that we still do that. We have cafes now. We're still working with the sophomores that we're struggling with personnel, but we're going to bring the cafe and sophomore. So besides all this program, we still have the foundation of our library services.
Just one question, for the Easter egg, because that was a bigger event, and that's gonna happen, right? The weather wrecks everything, and you have to adapt. Any lessons learned, maybe in case that happens again, in terms of how to move everything inside?
I think one of them was the games, like, we didn't really have the contingency plan in place. We kind of had to just think of it on the fly. We're like, oh no, the weather's bad, we need to do something different. So we came up with it on the fly. Probably next year, we'll have that in mind, like actually contingency plan and actually have those games ready. Because the kids really like the games anyway, so we could always just have them out in general in combination with the egg hunt. And then I do know there was some ideas of maybe having 2 Easter bunnies so that when one of them goes on break, the other one can come out so that the line keeps moving. That kind of.
Can I
The
have
one
a
thing that
think
is-
about
sorry.
that? Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Go
No, it's
ahead.
okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to state because we were at the Southmost location, and I'm going to be completely honest, we didn't even miss the egg hunt. So good job for thinking on the fly because I was very entertained. My kids were very entertained. And honestly, I didn't even realize that was missing until you said something.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, our patrons, or I always ask, was there any complaints? Instead of hiding them, or, because we want to learn, and our patrons are, because we have a good credit, if you will, but they're on the fly, and they're understanding, if you will. They don't make a big deal of it. And so, because of the action. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I do have a question. I couldn't hear at the upcoming events, but do you normally do something like for Mother's Day, like a craft type of event with those patrons?
So we will, but in May. Adults is doing their own Mother's Day event, and then the youth services are also doing their own Mother's Day event, which it's for us, it's the muffins with moms. And I think for adults, they're doing like manicures with moms or something like that. So we will, but in May.
So, question is, are we covering both Mother's Days, both the American and the Mexican Mother's Day?
Well, they fall during our regular programming days. We don't host them on the day of. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your report.
You're welcome.
Teen services.
Surprise, I'm also covering teens today. So B could not be with us today. She's at the main branch, she's closing. So she sent me some of her notes. For their March events, they had a really good turnout. They did the laser tag and their teen anime, the Jujutsu Kaisen. So what we did was like the first one, it was laser tag at Southmost and anime at Maine. And then for the second Tuesday, it was the laser tag at Maine and then anime at Southmost. So laser tag was a pre-registration event, which they had really good registrations. People actually came after having registered. And then I do know that they had like Southwest Keys pop in and bring some of their kids to play. So they had a really good time. Same for Jujutsu Kaisen. That's an anime. They made little buttons and they made the bags. So it was kind of like a makerspace collab because they had to cut those little stickers out of vinyl and then heat press them on the bags. And then for teen advisory, the Friendship of Women were actually present and they did a presentation on healthy relationships. So they brought, and then they also brought snacks for the kids that came, for the teens that came.
Was
They
that
brought
Friendship of Women?
Friendship of Women. Yeah, they're I think they're a nonprofit
Yeah.
organization. But yeah, they did a presentation. They used the yogurt parfaits and all the sides that they brought to kind of use it as an example of like a healthy relationship. So it was pretty good over there at Southmost. Here at Maine, it was less good, but that's something that we're reevaluating for Southmost. But Maine did have a really good amount of teens in attendance.
I have a question about that. So you
Yes.
said Southwest Key brought their kids. How does that work? Are they separate?
No, they'll call us ahead of time to ask if it's okay and if we can accommodate the number of teams that they want to bring. Usually it's yes, we just, adapt and,
Because they're supervisors there too.
yeah, and so they bring their supervisors and keep an eye on them and they just kind of participate as if they were regular patrons.
Is there any problem with them?
No, none at all. They're usually very great. They come for our movie night sometimes, so no, they're good.
We
They
never had it,
actually
we never
had
had
their
it.
first, the Southwest piece had the first session. She worked together with them to do that. And then from that, she said she brainstormed and was thinking for the future, maybe she could do something where it'd be an earlier gap and she could allow the preteens to come and enjoy it, the laser tag, because it was a big hit.
Okay, that's awesome. And then how does the movie work? Is the Spanish subtitles or Spanish movie?
Yeah, if the
English
film,
subtitles?
hopefully they have Spanish subtitles, but we'll put the subtitles in Spanish. So coming up in April, we have our anime club. They will be watching the film Liz and the Blue Bird, which is a new one to me. And then someone donated some old vinyl records that we've had kind of for a very long time trying to figure out what to do with them. So they're actually going to use them for this project, and the kids will get their own vinyl and they're going to decorate it. They're going to paint on the records. And then Teen Advisory Club. That'll just be a regular teen advisory club, no special presenters that day. But the little project that they'll be doing is the little mini sew kits. So they'll get to learn how to sew and take their little plushie home. And then the big event for April is called Promapalooza, Trolls Edition. So this is the first time that we are doing a teen prom. It's kind of our pilot. And we have a lot of staff who are very into Trolls, the films, which are very cute films, to be fair. So they went with Trolls as the theme. RSVP will be required for this one. I believe at Southmost we are going to accommodate 50 teens, and they have to be between the ages of 12 and 18. And there's going to be fun contests with fun prizes. The contests are going to be based on their outfits, so we're going to encourage the teens to dress up. So it's going to be best troll hair, best troll makeup, and then best troll outfit, and then best overall, who came overall the best dressed. And then there's going to be, I believe, snacks for the kids. There's going to be music. They're making these little, what are those called? Like the standees of troll characters so that the kids can take selfies with them. They're going to have a photo booth. So it's going to be a really exciting event, and hopefully it goes really well.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, so it's
Sounds
gonna
like
be, yeah. It's gonna be at Southmost first, and then in April, and then since it's a larger event, we're pushing the main one till May. So there's gonna be both branches, but we're gonna do Southmost first, and then Maine will have their prom in May.
And you said this is the first time this is?
Yes, yeah, and so it'll actually take place on a Friday, sort of after hours. It's from 5:30 to 8:30, so it'll just be the teens with all of us supervisors supervising. But so it'll be specifically for them.
Given the proximity time, do we have any feedback as to, is there interest or?
I do know so Bea would know more than me, but I do know that she's spoken to some of the teens that come to the advisory council. During our big events like Extravaganza, we had a lot of volunteers who were teens from one of the high schools. So just in talking with them, there seems to be some good feedback, and they're enthusiastic about it.
Okay.
And then I guess, is there like security on site?
It'll be us, where the security managers will be present, supervisors, and plenty of staff to be watching. Very similar to the lock-in.
Exactly, I was gonna say that, we have history with this, we have yearly lock-ins overnight, so our staff is very experienced.
I was curious if there's like boyfriend, girlfriend or whatever.
Oh, yeah, no, we're very
We have
hyper
enough
aware.
staff, we have staff, we have
We
cameras.
squeeze in the middle, like, you want that.
Yes. that's
So
all
far,
the
so
questions.
Good.
Yeah.
So any questions I can try to answer?
Hands are full.
Wonderful report.
Awesome. Thank
Sounds
you.
like very fun.
Yes, thank you.
Makerspace.
I'm back.
You have to throw
Yeah, so that's my first general
I'm
update,
back.
is I am back. I am, so Southmost has their Makerspace Advisor again. During the month of April, specifically this past week, we were undergoing training for poster printing to ensure that even if Makerspace advisors or the employees that are there more frequently are out for some reason, other employees are still able to print those posters for patrons.
Was there a problem with that while you were out, the poster printing?
They managed to get staff in there that was very good with balancing in my absence. And Anthony was very
Stressed.
he made it stressed, but he made himself available to both branches and made sure he was answering any questions that there were in my absence. But poster printing has been the most popular machine within Makerspace, so we want to make sure that, especially when it comes to that machine, that everybody is well trained and capable of providing that service.
How big are the posters?
It's 36 inches wide is the maximum width, and then length is as much as you want to pay, up to 100.
They're really nice. They turned out really nice. I know. See them on top of the Teacher Retirement
Yes.
Association, they get a lot.
Yeah, they swing by pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look really nice.
I personally have been working on streamlining the makerspace layout just so that it's a little bit easier to access all of the different machines the way I had it previously laid out. Kind of hid me away from the public so people didn't really know that I was in there sometimes. And I've gotten some positive feedback for that as well. And then we're also working on making samples for upcoming makerspace events for the months of April, May, and June. During the month of March, we had our Starry Night painting. At Southmost, we had 59 people in attendance, and at Main, we had 73 people in attendance. And you could see the different iterations of everybody's version of Starry Night. During the month of April, we will be doing the resin jewelry event. That will be happening on April 29th at 5:30 at both branches. For this one, we are recommending an age limit of 13 years and up, just because they're working with different chemicals that could cause conditions if you're not careful with them. Good. That's it. I don't want.
Wonderful projects. Questions? Anyone else?
You didn't know there was an eclipse today, right? I just saw that.
Yeah, that's why I was pretty. Yeah, I was like, let's stay on theme.
Thanks for that report. Outreach.
Good evening. My name is Courtney Taylor. I'm the Library Services Coordinator for both branches. To start off with the outreach that happened in March, we're going to talk about one of the One City events that we attended, where we had the Charles Day soccer event. It was really cool to be able to be invited to this event by the EA Assistant Director, James McQueen, in order to see our public in a different manner, and especially since I personally like soccer, I went and touted myself over there to see these 1,000 people. We did have a couple of kids who were super glad to see us. We got to show them our 3D printed katana and direct traffic over to the stadium itself so that they could get extra tickets. We even had a little kid who got mad at his dad because his dad lost his little book eraser in the stands, so he came back and got another one from us that day to make sure that we had the correct book that he got and everything. So it was really cool to not only be part of this event, but also to see people in somewhere that they wouldn't expect us. Next slide. Some of the other events that we went to were the Dia de las Mujeres event over at the Event Center, celebrating Women's Day internationally. We were able to get 33 library cards made during this event while giving them an exclusive back that we created through our makerspace that had the logos for Roca as well as the event page. They definitely thought it was interesting to see that not only we built things in our library, but we kind of pressured them into the cards to add different services where they could make themselves better, including LinkedIn Learning. We were able to see 198 people there. We then hit the event center again for the Aging Healthy in the RGV. We were able to see Roca perform there, and different vendors were surprised by the databases that we offered, not only for learning how to drive and removing points off of your license, but also to be able to host the computer classes and have our own adult services fairs that we have here. The third event that we had was the Farm to Heart Health Fair, where the different people from other places in the valley, such as Donna, McAllen, and Harlingen, all got to learn about our resources. It was surprising that a lot of them did already have library cards with our system, and we just reminded those that are from other cities that we do still offer cards to anyone from Texas. We saw 139 people there. Next slide. Miss Kayla and Miss Dulce had fun over at Kinder Fun Daycare for Dr. Seuss Day. Even though it was just 11 patrons, this is one of those type of events that really builds a memory within our children because they got to learn not only the book that Miss Dulce read to them, but they also got to see our librarians in a positive light. Normally we do crafts as well with this, and they really enjoy getting to see not only Kayla, but Miss Dulce. For the Jubilee Career Fair, Miss B, Alma, and Isabel got to talk to Jubilee about the different things that we offer through the library. They're very surprised at the different job duties that we have in a library. A lot of times people just expect that we get to read all day, which is not the case, but they also got to see what kind of events we host and what all you can do if you decide to go into librarianship for yourself. We saw 245 people there. And then we are still doing our remix for the Brownsville's Farmers Market. We are trying to get more children to come during this children's market to see our story time and are in collaboration with the Brownsville Wellness Center to be able to make this a more attended event. We were able to see 87 people on that Saturday. Next slide. To piggyback off of Kayla, our participation in the extravaganzas for InReach Table included giving out a small item to adults. What it was this time was a seed packet wheelbarrow to do a small planter, which were sunflower seeds in honor of Miss Elizabeth Walker, who was previously in charge of our library department. As far as the city, she was our overhead manager. But this also shows the connection between growing and growing with your library and with your community. And a lot of the adults were very, very thankful that we remembered them on Easter as opposed to just the kids getting to play and getting all of the eggs. Our adult services also hosted an InReach table where they promoted their Golden Egg Challenge there at Maine, which you see right there. Next slide. The thing I tried to keep Mr. Guetta from talking about last meeting
You had to bring it up, right?
was this. I was able to go to the National Digital Inclusion Alliance Net Inclusion Conference over in Philadelphia, and what I did there was present to over 60 people about our adult computer literacy classes and how we dealt with our digital navigator program here in Brownsville. So beside me, there was representation from University of Texas at Austin. We also had Texas State Library Commission there with us as well, talking about everything we do here in Brownsville and how we can make a better program, what worked, what didn't work, what marketing really helps, and how our community has enabled us to grow into a better connected city. So that was pretty cool. Super awesome, and adult services has definitely helped with that, as well as all the rest of the departments helping by promoting these as we go to the outreaches and really enabling us to show how cool Brownsville is.
Yep, that's what that. So these were other librarians in attendance?
Not just librarians, it's state and national level for net inclusion. So it could be community partners such as housing authorities, it is Congress people, it's people from your House of State, everyone who can build law and kind of promote those programmings, including companies such as ACP and national things to build web fiber. So one of the things that Brownsville is also doing is our lit communities to add the middle mile for BTX fiber to connect the rest of Brownsville. So that's also part of what Brownsville is doing to keep our community connected and focused.
And Courtney, how did this come about? Can you share?
Oh, we were invited. So we were specifically asked to come to speak because we were part of a cohort through our Texas State Library and Archives grant that we got for digital navigation. So they specifically asked, hey, we're proposing to talk about this. Would you guys like to come? You're one of the cities in our cohort that's really been vocal about what you're doing. We really like what you guys have been able to show and overcome throughout this process. So they wanted us to be the ones there out of all the 13 cities that they had in that. So,
I'm curious to know, at a conference like that, there's usually like buzz in there, like certain ideas are getting a lot of attention. Like what kind of ideas were you sort of hear, or questions were you sort of hearing or getting that maybe you brought back, that you brought back with you and that you.
So a lot of what we were talking about has to do with kind of marketing to your patronage and really securing the perfect program for them to allow your community to show you what they want and need, and then fluff it out afterwards to give them more information. One of the things that I pointed out during my presentation is, this was a small idea, and by taking pictures and showing passion, it was able to grow into a bigger idea, into a grant, and into something like this. Like if we hadn't bothered to take the 2-second photo, like it's just me talking about it, right? It's not our stakeholders seeing what the effective change is without fully focusing on it. As far as where this is going moving forward, a lot of organizations are actually hiring out their own digital navigators and adding further community partners, which is something we're looking into whether or not we'd be able to do. They're also seeing how AI is affecting different organizations, which it's kind of funny for us, for libraries. When you say AI, it's a new buzz term, but we've used automated processes since libraries existed, right? We use them to check out, we use them to do our own posting as far as like announcements and things like that. So it's just a perspective switch into what we can do for the future. And in getting that feedback from our classes through our surveys is where we're going to take it.
Any other questions? Thank you for that report.
I had a little input on the outreach, just an idea in case, you hadn't thought about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you guys reached out for the zoo? Because they're having 2 big events. They're having Party for the Planet on the April 20th. And then right now they have that Dino Fury exhibit until July 7th.
We have reached out to them for other events. For the Dino exhibit, because they don't have a general vendorship that they have going during this time, they felt it would be kind of awkward for just us to come over. But I can talk to them about Party for the Planet to see if they'd be willing to allow us to come. It may be a case that this is around like the 22nd or so, that we're slightly limited on staff just due to TLA. We have a couple of librarians that will be promoting our services as well as finding information back for us at that time.
An idea, just in case you can not collaborate as much, but maybe like in the children's area, having a bunch of dinosaur books out to kind of pop on their idea.
There's other events, like there's
The Lunadas.
let's say May 4th, right?
Yes, the Star Wars.
Star Wars stuff.
That was, I think you should, Shannon Contreras over at Parks and Rec. That would be the one to talk to. The Lunadas, I think you'd probably target a greater amount of audience because there's a lot of kids and teens that go that more than the farmer's market because it's early in the morning. And given that there's 100 and something vendors at the Lunadas, and there are only I think 4 or 5 of them scheduled. I know the next one is on the 20th of April, And then the following, I think, is June the 15th. I'll have to get back to you on those dates. But I know the 20th for sure. But if you talk to the Lunada, I know the Stars has a very high success rate there with interacting with the kids. And I think you would probably reach higher numbers there than at the farmer's market. Just because of the fact that it's in the evening and the kids are there. You know, it is a very highly successful family.
I think they keep reaching out to the farmers market though, because we're active in the farmers market. Like we always go, and there's a bunch of homeschool families that are now starting to go more because Parks and Recs has an area set up in front of the little caboose, and they have story time. They have games. For Easter weekend, they had an egg hunt, and there's just an opportunity for the library to kind of feed off.
I'm a vendor there, and we see a lot of kids.
We have reached out to Shannon. She's still getting me the rest of the dates for after April. Again, just because that April 20th is on that week where we're at minimal staff, but we're definitely looking into which ones we can attend, and I'm just waiting for the additional dates from them.
Any further discussion? Thank you for that report. Our next report, Friends of the Library.
Hi, guys. Really don't have much to report. We're still looking for volunteers. The librarians are helping us out a lot over here at Southmost, but we are trying to have at least one of the officers, I guess, of the Friends of the Library here on Saturday, so that we are reaching out. We are trying to get more staff over here from the Friends of the Library themselves, but the librarians assisting us is really beneficial.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Before we adjourn, I just want to say thank you again to each and every one of you in each one of these areas, sections. You do a wonderful job. You work very hard at what you do, and you keep attracting more and more children. And I guess that's what we expect, and that's what you expect in putting out your program, because it's hard when you work hard to put something together and you don't have people show up.
It's the worst.
And it happened to me at school too, when we were putting things together. So, yeah, thank you for the work that you do. I know that y'all are going above and beyond, so thank you for your dedication to your job.
Yeah, and Mr. Lee, we're scheduled, the next meeting will be May 13th. But I want to say it right now already, I think I already said it before, on May 15th, we're going to be celebrating, we're going to be meeting in May over there, our 30-year anniversary at the May Library, and we're going to make a big shindig, a big event. We have to save the day with the commission. We have a lot of things. Hopefully, we'll be getting a proclamation from the state.
Oh, wonderful.
And so
And the event will be May 15th?
May 15th in the evening from 5:30 to 8, I believe. And so I would like for you guys to be there.
You will send us a reminder.
We will, and not only that, we meet on the 13th.
True.
And so, but I wanted you to prepare. Again, it's a big thing, and luckily we noticed that it was the 30th year. And then next year, it's going to be 25 years here. And so we're going to make it, we have a lot of acreage to do. We're going to make it a big thing it's going to highlight our libraries. And I'm going to point something what Corny did or showed something about in-reach. We do a lot of outreach, but sometimes people go to our libraries now to not know what we have to offer. Sometimes setting up a table there, it makes a big difference. We cannot assume that they know what we have to offer, besides the books. And so in-reach is very important. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your advocacy. And again, looking forward to May. It'll be, I'm not the best speaker. I tried to punt it to Brenda, but most important, we're going to have testimonials from patrons and the services we provide. But it's just celebrating how good Brownsville has it in our lives.
Yeah, I talked to people from the Callan area, and they don't have, not even a fourth of the programs that y'all put together.
Question. We have a section in our meetings for public comment. I mean, I know we have patrons that want to come. I mean, it would be nice to have parents come, patrons come in and do some input, so we could, as an advisor, we could get some input, see what's going on. Are they made aware that they can come in and talk?
Yes. We've had public comment in the past, we noticed, we put it since Friday. And
Yeah.
so.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
I'm on several board meetings. We have to put public comment on them, but nobody shows up to do public comments.
But we're there, any advice we can put, we have a creative service, we can put something, someone in our social media, and again, we welcome any opinions, we've had comments on that. Yeah, we've had, in fact, we had a superintendent, we've had patron complaints, we address it, but they're aware of it. I don't know, say, maybe we're doing something good, nobody comments are in a negative way.
Yeah.
Right.
And we do get comments negative, like in Facebook, and we reply back to them. We don't shy away from them. And we learn. Like one of the things that we got a comment that I took personally. We need to go back to the basics on the story time. We do Spanish story time and bilingual. But sometimes we don't have staff to speak Spanish, so we're trying to figure out. But we go back to the basics sometimes. But yeah. We're open for the public comments, but not hardly anybody. If the city commission only has one or two, then usually the same person.
Well, if I think what they can go off, we can, that's a whole other topic too,
Yeah.
because more and more, like I'm from Austin originally, I'm in Austin. You know, for those parents who want their kids to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of actually hard here.
Yeah.
There's not, that many opportunities for that. So the library, that could be something.
Yeah, we're gonna explore it as a pilot. Again, I'm not even that fluent in Spanish, so it's hard. It's not as easy, but we're gonna try. And we've had it in the past, and so it will come, but now we have a better promotion.
Maybe doing a partnership with, I know we're wrapping up, but Kenmont has a new, I've heard they're trying to start they started a few years ago with a bilingual program.
Yeah.
Like there's, maybe partner with.
Or UTRGV, there's some Spanish teachers, and maybe some students are gonna be teachers in Spanish. Why not? So we can do partnerships, yes. Yeah. At least we're talking about it.
Yes. I agree with that. We
We need a motion
I
to
make a
adjourn
motion.
if there's no further discussion.
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Thank you.
Does anyone ever oppose